All right, can you hear me okay? Oh, hold on. Can you hear me now? Nope.
I worked for Shax in the old tower. I'd be dead if not for him.
How about now? Oh, I think I see what's going on. Okay.
I worked on your ship before. It's a sturdy one. You look like you've got some big news. Sorry, I'm late.
Check 1, 2.
Sorry, I'm late.
Everything depends on the Vanguard.
Assignment in progress.
The targets don't know their targets till you get there.
Okay, can you hear me now?
This is not a combat zone. Move along.
You can upgrade the armor, but it's
There are tasks to be completed. Move along. Ready for reassignment. This is not a combat zone. Move along.
Hello?
Ready for reassignment.
Again?
Service log updated. Daily tasks.
Colin?
Hey! Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah,
the
it turns
Destiny
out-
that quality is terrible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it does give us kind of a radio feel, I suppose, like we are
It's a great point.
communicating in helmets, but yeah, it's not good for streaming quality. If I'm
We'll-
kind of
we'll make it
surprised that you can't stream and use Stadia's audio. That's weird, seeing as how you're streaming it from Stadia.
Yeah,
It just seems so odd.
So here's the options. There's YouTube and game chat, YouTube only, party chat, where only party chat members will hear you, or no one. I'm good with this if you are.
I mean, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Right. Now I just gotta pull up the dashboard real quick and we can start, half an hour later.
All
Go
right.
ahead. You know who's doing you know what again. Got it.
All right.
Oh.
So, to all of our 0 viewers, we'll
Hey,
just
man, you
say,
gotta play like you have a million people.
like maybe eventually somebody is watching this in the future for, I don't know, like they have nothing better to do. And yeah, so I'm Slightgeist, i.e. Colin. I don't care about using my tag name. And this is my dear friend, Fightman. And we're here
Yeah,
checking
James
out-
is fine. James is fine.
James and-
No need to
James and
go
I-
by... There you go. It's just James and Colin, like it's always been for the better
James and
part of
Colin.
13 years. It's just James and Colin.
So we're checking out day 1 here on Season of the Chosen. I'm getting terrible input lag, so I think this is going to go great.
Ooh. I'm even seeing you robot around.
Hooray! So, do you want to check out this new seasonal event first, or do you want to do our strikes? What are you thinking?
Well, I'm pretty sure that it tried to throw us into the seasonal event at the very start, so we should probably knock that out.
Let's do it.
Especially since it looks like some of the challenges have to do with being on somewhere called the Helm, so we need to figure out where that is and how to get there.
I think that is a new social space, but I'm not positive.
In social space. I'm already not social.
Okay. All right. Battleground Behemoth.
Do it.
So, what
There we go. Let's do it.
One thing we've talked about in the past a little bit is, like we talk about just random shit all the time when we're playing. So why not do more of that and record it for posterity? I guess.
Posterity. That's right. They can, when they institute video players in our graves, we can have this up for posterity.
Absolutely.
Truly our greatest life achievement.
Callus's daughter, Empress Kylo,
I mean,
has arrived in our system.
by
hoping
hours
to
spent,
reunify
I
the
hate
Cabal
to
and
say.
We've spotted an Imperial
Yeah.
land tank tearing
Solaris
through
still
missiles.
does
My
it for me,
coordinates
but
has something to do
yeah,
with
this
Kylo's
does
loss.
have a lot of hours
I
in it.
want boots
You
on the
know,
ground
all these
for
hours,
President.
and have we ever done a raid?
I have.
Okay, I guess technically we did do like 2 raids, just the 2 of us. So far we could get.
We loaded
Technically.
into them. All right, what's going on here? Battleground Behemoth.
The Cabal tank
Yeah, we're just
break their front
killing
line
ourselves
and
some
get us out.
cabal. Hey
Oh,
guys.
God. Oh God.
Yeah, that was
I
a
like-
little explodey going on here.
Guardian down.
Down
can't
I
even-
go.
Game right now.
Wow, the input lag's that bad, huh? I guess
Yeah.
when you're just streaming straight to YouTube, it's a little rough, huh?
It shouldn't be though, and I was having this issue last night. I think that it's a local issue on my end, which is
No,
not great.
snow on the power line.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, why not?
I
You
like
never
it.
know.
Stop
I
all
heard
of
something
it.
purple drop.
Something purple this way comes.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh Yeah. So we were talking just to like kickstart things. We were talking about picking just a random topic every night this week that we jump into play. And tonight we were going to chat about like the prompt was, how have your personal life goals changed over time? Which I think is like kind of silly, but also kind of fun, because we have known each other for like a long ass time at this point.
Too long, Colin. I think it's time.
So we call it off right now.
That's right.
So I guess, James, I'd like to know, like, so when we first met, right, in 8th grade, or was it 9th grade? 9th grade German.
9th grade German, baby.
What would you say?
You told me you came from Mordor. Oh God.
From my house, Mordor, man.
That's right.
Yeah. So, like, what were you?
So, okay.
What were your goals in 9th grade?
Oh fuck, man. 9th grade. Making it through 9th grade. I wish I had a better answer than that. You don't really have goals in 9th grade, do you? You can be a fucking idiot. You have goals when you're a kid, and you have goals when you're an adult, but everything in between is just a terrible mess.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm just thinking about when
terrible mess.
Well, yeah, that too. You know, when I was a kid, I was so set on being a paleontologist. I knew that's what I wanted to do, and here I am, 32 almost, and not a paleontologist.
Yeah, but you're a lot of other things.
Yeah, thanks to COVID, I'm unemployed. That is another thing I am right now. It's true.
That's not what I am.
I know that's not what you meant. Yeah.
You are an assessor. You are a writer. You are a video game player. You are a person who has a lot of relationships, like friendships, and people who like a good social network. You have a lot of things that you are.
That's true. That's true.
Professionally.
Or unprofessionally. I do not amateurly go dig up dinosaur bones either. Yeah,
But
no,
right?
those are all fair points. Well, of course. No, I had a chance, but then the one dig I was on, I just fucked it up royally, you know. Hammer time. Okay. Go supreme.
Look at you go. Look at you go.
Woo!
Killing it.
Okay, we got another Imperial Access code. Right, and so then.
Why that?
Well, because dinosaurs, you know, like you're a kid, fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, but like, where did it start? Do you think?
Based on the field intelligence you recovered,
It's all a terrible mess. It's.
Directing from the ground.
I couldn't even tell you where my love of dinosaurs came from. It's been there since the very beginning. I think I came out the womb dinosaur loving.
You're like, yo, reptiles though. What about them?
That's right. That's right. Or maybe birds. You know, you're still out on that business. But
I don't know. Birds. I don't think birds were the main theory when we were kids, though, right? Like.
Oh no. It was all still leathery skin and you know, Teal always brings up this really great point where she points out that depictions of dinosaurs are basically almost consistently without body fat. So the way that we see dinosaurs in images with those drawings are definitely not necessarily how thin they actually were. Because they would have to have body fat in order to survive, even if the Earth was, you know, much more of a tropical hothouse kind of setting. Fuck, I can't get out of RPG terminology. But
I remember very clearly being taught creationist stuff that, like, the reason dinosaurs existed was because reptiles just got really big because of the greenhouse effect.
Oh, so the greenhouse effect got to continue to exist within your creation as literature, but not.
I think it was a different thing, though. I think it was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
I see. You
We have
it. Okay.
Yes, the classic Destiny: pick up an orb and throw it at a thing. It's almost as ubiquitous as panels to stand on.
Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
Oh, okay.
True
So
as
they
it
can
be.
kill you too.
Oh shit! Man down. Oh, they got you. Look at them already level 6.
Username 2 Lazy Eyes. But sorry, I interrupted. So
No,
we're talking
no. So, well, we were talking about dinosaurs, yes, but I mean, grand scheme of staying on topic. I ended up getting that scholarship out of high school that I don't even remember applying for. In fact, even in high school, I didn't remember applying for it. I got that scholarship for the NMC nursing program.
Oh yeah.
And then I went to NMC for like a year and a half for that program before having to potentially take chemistry a third time and going, nah.
Yeah,
and then switching.
Rough, man.
Well, yeah, it was. Certainly, it was not, and still is not, my strong suit by any degree. So that was when I took that creative writing class, and then headed down further south to go for my degree in that instead. And then, been jumping everywhere since then as far as jobs are concerned. And
yeah, creative writing I want to talk more about, because that's something that I feel like we both have always had in common a little bit.
Yeah, your killer stories in high school, fucking those, that goddamn million-page long fantasy story you and Jess wrote. Pretty rad stuff. I say that with a joking tone, but it really isn't a joke. That stuff was really fun to read.
That's what I did instead of paying attention in any of my classes that year.
Well, there you go.
I very specifically remember coming to public school, and granted, I will give that the school I was at, I definitely got a little bit higher quality math education. And so I remember it didn't work out that way. In the long term, I still suck at math. But I remember just never doing anything in class, just getting stuff done really quick, and then just working on my stupid book in that ratty old ring notebook, spiral notebook. Begin the rite of proving.
Oh, and a bunch more. Alright, Commander Dracus. How about a hammer? Let me give you a hammer. Okay. I tried. And I missed. Oh, immune.
He's got a little shield. Okay.
Got a shield.
Okay, so creative writing. When did that start? When did you
it was in earnest. It was just when I took that college class on a whim. But been writing shit for D&D since I started playing when I was 12, right? So I guess that all kind of feeds into it. Gosh, good old 3rd edition.
Yeah. For all the books. There were so many.
Every splat book under the sun. Almost as bad as 2nd edition as far as power creep goes.
I'm glad that they have taken steps to avoid that in this newest
Yeah, it's unfortunate we had to go through the 4th edition training wheels period where they kind of learned what good accessibility is and isn't as far as design is concerned.
That's true.
Now, maybe that's a hot take, but then again, I know I'm not in the minority for believing that 4th edition was an Umbral engram again? Those are back?
Yeah, the recaster is back too, apparently.
Oh, does it keep your upgrades, or do we magically have to upgrade it again?
That's a great question. Let's find out.
Celebrities, do they have to reforge their recaster? Let's find out.
Yeah, I remember, like, very specifically in 4th grade, we had some kind of, like, I can't remember if it was like a poetry thing or whatever, but I specifically remember writing something and, like, my teacher being just, like, stupid impressed with it, and, like, that made me feel good, of course, but, and she, like, had me go with her to this luncheon at the Optimist Club of Traverse City.
Aren't you the optimist? What happened?
I'm just now realizing that, like, did I take up writing just because, like, somebody else complimented on me on it once, you know?
Well, you know, probably, but is that wrong? I don't know. Battle of Conquest.
Oh, nice. I like
Oh, always a flair for the dramatic.
That's what we came for. Get out of there now.
Ooh,
Roman allegory
extraordinary.
rhinos.
That's right. Extraordinary rendition. Okay.
So we gotta go to the helm now, apparently.
Okay, well, let's go to the helm now, apparently.
Yeah, let's do it. So
Let's.
I guess here's my question. Like, I feel like you and I have a lot of things in common. I do feel like we are different in a lot of ways as well. But I think one of the things that we have in common is I feel like we've really, like, jumped around a lot in our lives, like, just trying different jobs and careers and trying to figure out, like, what works, where do I fit, you know, like, in my friend group, in society, in like the career world, TM at large. But the question itself, when we say, like, goals, I don't think that necessarily is limited to that, right?
Well, I mean, probably not. But the difficulty with the question is when you ask if your goals changed, and we're not talking about goals like what you would want to do as you grew older. I mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about, like, goals you have as a kid. And those aren't really... God, maybe it's shitty to say, but those aren't really, like, worth much of anything. Like,
they're very unrefined.
It's a good one. Yeah, sure. There you go. They're very unrefined. I remember I was 16, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna totally make one of these MTG invitationals. I'm gonna totally play some Magic, and I'm gonna do it in a way where everybody's gonna see me. And then I tried, you know, in like 2 tournaments and absolutely hated it both times and was like, nope. So, you know, it's that kind of stuff. It's like you try a thing one time, and as a kid, you don't try to, like, push through or tough it out. If you get resistance, you just kind of duck it. I mean, and not everybody's like that, right? You know, people did, like, singing competitions or you know, would do, like, those robotics challenges that the kids in that,
challenge to the remains of the broken legion.
I'm just realizing that we must be on a ship.
The ancient
Yeah, I think Zavala said this is called the Hub for Emergency Logistics and something. I don't know.
Eat the mountains. We drink.
So this table where I'm at is where we use the Bell of Conquest.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm gonna ring that bell.
Ooh, creepy hollow Zavala with a really not good mouth animation.
Okay. Bell of Conquest.
I don't know, like, can you think of anything when you were a kid that you had as a goal that was, like, even worth that ended up even being worth remembering.
Unfortunately, it's
That
just
isn't just to do with what you were going to do when you got older.
The new face of their empire, and
Yeah, I
demanded
think-
pledge loyalty to her.
Sorry, I want to try and catch what he's saying here quick.
Expect.
Yeah, that
Thanks
is
to the
really weird
information you
looking.
recovered, we know this.
It's just because they don't have the muscles on his upper cheeks or up moving at all. Like his eyes
yeah.
don't squint or move as his mouth does, like a normal human face would.
Lord Saladin will act as
Okay,
field commander,
alright,
and
I
Osiris
see.
will report directly to me as my advisor.
So
He's appointed a new hunter.
I hear what you're saying. I think like the way that I look at it is like when I think back and I'm like, oh yeah, I really wanted to be a pilot, or like unfortunately I really wanted to be a missionary, you know, at one point, or like a. If I look at like, I don't think that the like
if we miss this opportunity,
career
another all-out
itself
war would become
like really
inevitable.
matters at all, but I do think that there are some like deep-seated like motivations behind that, and not always. Like sometimes you know, spade is just a spade, but I do think that like those aspirational things as kids sometimes do help us shape like where we end up going in life. Would you disagree?
Glint chose the materials. You haven't let me pay for any of this.
You're gonna have to repeat that. I'm
If you want
sorry,
to
I
obey
was
me,
collecting
keep that
bounties and
mask
got distracted
fixed
by
to your
this
face.
conversation going on in here.
It will protect
No
you from
problem.
the city's ignorance. I know
I
what
like
it's
Crow's
for.
new look.
If this is what it takes to make a
I
difference.
don't like his mask. I think his mask is
I've
really
had to walk
stupid.
these streets under disguise more
Maybe,
times than you know.
maybe again, I'm just
I am
wrong.
welcome.
I can see his teeth.
Soon you shall be too.
The
Patience and caution.
old phase your
I
head
don't
through
think
their
that-
head to see their teeth.
Guardian.
I don't think your opinion about him and his mask can be wrong, like
They think
inherently.
their tank is a show of strength, but it is no
This is
iron.
my your mask sucks stand.
Saladin will hold the lines.
The rest of the outfit's kind of rad. I like that.
Names are needed. Examples.
Yeah, well,
My friends in the reef have been talking. At this point, Red Legion commanders are either brutes or
the
braggarts.
brutes and braggarts.
Not the type for subtlety. They want Keitel's attention.
I like his
Ugh.
mask.
We will use that information to direct
Well,
our fury.
You just talked about how opinions can't be objectively wrong, and then you prove yourself wrong, but seconds later. How interesting.
Together in the field.
Uh,
I'm starting to get the impression you all like having me around.
don't get cocky.
Don't get penisy, kid. Okay. Decrypting the Umbral decoder and presenting have been appropriated by the Vanguard recode to the helm. Visit the Umbral decoder to. Well, shit. Okay, hang on. Post box. Umbral decoder. Oh, he's got it tucked away here.
It looks nice.
Now there's no drifter
cool.
saying cool stuff to me. Pick up a message from Tiber Karm at the Umbral decoder on the helm. Okay. Okay. Use the prismatic recaster to focus on Umbral. Wait,
Oh,
what?
okay, you have to go to
What
one of
did
the
I do
terminals
wrong?
over here. Once you get that engram, you have to come over here to like one of these little terminals.
I gotcha. Got that thing. Hands of the
You're gonna
crypto.
charge me legendary shards, huh?
Oh, wait, for what?
To focus the stuff. Okay, I
Swashbuckler
see.
Underdog Tactical Mag. Kind of a rad shotgun.
Okay. Lord Saladin is waiting to brief you on the situation. Visit the war table.
Okay, Lord Salad Bar. Let's hear it.
This is kind of neat. I don't know.
Yeah.
The dragon of your light roars over Nessus. Our enemies fear you, Guardian. Osiris
They better.
mentioned you crashed a Cabal ritual they call the Rite of Proving. He seems to think it's not unlike our Crucible, made for settling scores. I don't see the resemblance. Scraps of the Red Legion are competing to earn Keitel's favor. Just like her, their hands are tied by tradition. They're forced to meet every challenger or forfeit their position. We can exploit that. I want you to run down every Cabal commander you can find. If they're foolhardy enough to accept a fist
fight. Well, all right. All right, Colin, you're at a disadvantage because normally you have a knife.
Well,
you gotta.
That's fine.
Embrace your inner Titan.
Okay. So what is next? Check our quests here.
Wait, Exo Legionnaires at her disposal? Hold up, what? What?
Oh my.
Right now, Cabal Commander is taking the, skulking through the ice and breathing in front to prevent his campus. How long wants you to find her? Okay, so he's searching. Alright. Sidearm, bow, void, energy, battlegrounds, bow, melee. Okay.
Oh, I guess I should grab 4 more of them, huh?
I mean,
whatever
you're feeling.
Yeah, let's do it. This is interesting. Okay, let's see here. So we got void abilities. Oh, linear fusion rifle.
Oh, I'm jelly.
Just go grab one of those boys. Okay. Arrowhead. Submachine.
Mm-hmm. And there was such a mixed bag, this psychedelic metal that I've been putting on. Sometimes it's really great, and other times it just...
Not so much?
Isn't. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. It just isn't.
It's fair. Just gonna grab a couple of things here. Guess it's a reason to use Queenbreaker.
Ooh. Always need one of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm ready. So we just got to go back into Battleground? Is that what it is? Battleground Hailstone. Okay, it's on Europa.
Glad. Let's do it.
Cool.
Okay. 32. Oof.
Okay. Okay, so...
Dang,
are you ready to pick back up?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So my point, I think, what I was trying to say is that, like, I don't think the, like, profession names, right, matter for children. Like, how many people actually end up being something that you thought you were going to be as a kid? But I do think that there are, like, underlying motivations maybe that, like, drive you towards specific things. Like, I don't know, like, I'm a social person, you know, like, more so as an adult maybe than I was as a teenager, but I definitely was drawn as a kid toward things where, like, I would be able to, like, interact with people and, like, try and create positive change around me, that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's just oversimplifying things.
For some reason, I cannot think of any kind of a response.
You know, that's
I guess
fair.
I agree. I guess I agree. Well, I mean, why don't we just turn it over to you, Colin? Like, we haven't really discussed how your goals and ambitions have changed as time has gone on.
Cabal
That's
forces
true, I
are
guess.
entrenched out here. You're in for a hell of a
I feel like
firefight before we can breach
as
their
I've gotten
defenses.
older,
Those command carriers
my,
are likely
like,
to send reinforcements. They'll try to
career
draw
has
their air
become
support
less.
away.
Clear the field.
It feels less
That should buy me
defining
enough time to take down the
to me
barrier that's
than it
blocking
did,
the way forward.
than it seemed like it would as a kid, you know?
Has it become less defining to you than it seemed like when you were a young adult, too? When you were in your 20s? Early 20s?
It's hard to
Because
say.
I gotta admit, like, when we were in the hustle, before there was any kind of real financial stability, at least to me, I'm not saying I'm financially stable now, like, it still felt pretty important.
Yeah, important,
Am I-
definitely. Like, I don't mean, like, how do I say this? Like, I guess I feel more now like the stuff I do in my free time is what defines me, or is, like, contributes more to how I see myself, maybe. But also, back when we were, like, rooming together, right? Like, we definitely were in a very different financial situations. Like, I think I get what you're saying. Like, it felt important, but I don't know that it. I don't know. It's tough to say. Maybe I did feel more defined by my career when my career was, like, a lot more high stakes in terms of, like, having money for food and stuff, you know?
Yeah, and I almost wonder if it's not being defined by your career, it's being defined by your lack of one, because you don't have that stability, because you're working jobs that basically are to be where you are quite dispensable, where you are quite,
that makes sense.
you know. So it's less like I'm defined by, yes, I see myself primarily as a valet and everything else is secondary. I see myself as poor as hell and obviously taking any job I can get that'll pay the bills.
Yeah.
And that kind of came to define a huge part of who you are during that period of your life, because all of these decisions had to be based around, you know, is that going to affect my ability to pay rent, eat food,
right,
put gas in the car to get those places? So I don't know. I'm just curious if, like, you feel like if how much of your current ability to kind of identify yourself more by what you do in your free time has at least in some way, you know, some part to do with the fact that, like, you've hit a certain level of, and I don't want to speak for you, it's not like I know your finances, but it seems as though you and your wife have hit a relatively stable place in that department, at least for the time being, and so that doesn't have to dominate your
I think you're right, and I think that like there is a certain level of like privilege that comes with that I think is important to like think about first off, but and acknowledge. But also I think that like when I think about like some of those jobs we worked right when we were younger, I almost wonder, maybe this is a little like conspiracy, but I wonder if it's in the best interest of those organizations to like make their employees feel invested in their like role. You know, like it
absolutely is. I mean, that's like the whole goal of freaking capitalism is to make you feel guilty for prioritizing yourself over what you know do for a living.
Absolutely.
So
I think you're definitely right.
And I mean, I'm not trying to suggest it's all the money thing, right? Definitely part of that comes from maturity. Like as you mature and you realize what really is and isn't important to you, then that changes how high up you put things like work over things like you know, what you do in your free time with the real you, quote unquote.
Right. And I think it definitely is both, but like as we're talking about it, I do feel like I don't know, like part of it is being at a place where you feel like you can afford to have those like hobbies or like interests a little more, whereas before it always felt like you were like robbing yourself to partake in them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You were overindulging. You were like, oh man, I really want this D&D book. No. Yeah, and then, but you knew that if you dumped that $30, $40, $50, you'd be chowing on ramen for the next week.
And there was definitely like a guilt aspect of it too, right?
A Catholic of it.
Yeah. I mean, I picked up plenty of guilt from the Protestants. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. Most of my family history is Catholic, so that's what I always blame. But yes, it is kind of everybody.
Well, James, we've had two concurrent viewers for a little while here.
Oh goodness, they just watched you get fucking crushed by a drop pod, huh?
I have.
And again.
I have had a lot of awful deaths so far, like blowing myself up with the orb a couple times.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty good at this so far, I think. But
I didn't know any better. I'd say we've been playing Destiny for years now.
You mean like since year one of Destiny 1 or something?
Yeah, you know, since then.
You remember when like the third subclass came out in Destiny 1? I remember loving the Void Bow when it first dropped. I was so into it.
Thinking the Titan Big Hammer was dumb, and now it's the only one I use.
Titan Big Hammer.
The Titan Big Hammer. The big bonky boy. The donker.
I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with the like challenge level of the bounties so far. They're like all accomplishable, but not cake, you know.
I just backed off a ledge. Yeah, I agree. I mean, if anything, it's just making you pay time, pay that valuable limited resource time.
Is that what we like ultimately are talking about here? Is just like our time? Do you think?
I try not to think about my time, considering how I use it.
But that's kind of the thing, right? Like, you shouldn't have to feel bad about how you use your free time.
I mean, unless it's coming at the expense of your own health or self-interest. Like, I think you should be a little. Like, if let's say in my scenario, after losing my job due to COVID, instead of constantly searching for jobs, I just put it off and played video games all the time and never even looked for a job. Like, that does matter how I use my time there. You know,
That's fair. The Cabal got sloppy. Vex had moved in behind them.
But I see what you're saying. Like, yes, if you bake it all down, what you're saying is what you currently... I don't know. Fuck. It almost sounds like I'm fucking high. I'm just not even going to try anymore.
No, it's good.
I will ramble onward and have no point. No, it's fine. Too late now. I gotta switch to my rocket launcher. I forgot. I have a thing for that. Oh, and back to the line.
I have a thing for that.
I've got a thing for that.
Yeah, this is interesting. I feel like I have like some things to reflect on after this conversation, which is good. That's like mostly what I want out of these kind of discussions. And part of it too is I don't know, like we've talked about privilege a lot before, and I don't really want to like delve into that. I feel like that could be its own topic probably.
Certainly it could.
But I do feel like that plays a part of it, right? Like from a lot of different aspects.
You might need to repeat all of that because I just had a huge lag spike.
I was just saying that I feel like privilege really like plays into where I'm at with like what I value, what my goals are. Like I still want to get like published. I want to publish a book at some point, you know, like
I hear you.
And like I'm starting up this new music project because I've been out of that for a little while. Like a lot of my goals now, other than like, you know, we're talking about like starting a family here, you know, like before too crazy long. A lot of my goals now are like that sort of stuff, like stuff I want to make.
Books, music, babies, the things I want to make. I get
it. But like, it doesn't really have to do with the financial incentive of it. It's more about the like, should we wait for this guy? We probably should, huh?
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Oh, hey, it's my turn to get... It's my turn to get crushed. We'll just do this now.
That was a horrible grenade. Just fucking terrible.
He's invincible.
That's all I have to say on that, I think.
Oh, okay. That's fair. Man, getting published would be rad. I still want to finish that like system neutral RPG adventure that I've been fucking plunking away at for the better part of a year. I think the struggle I always have is trying to figure out how you can do like a time reversal mechanic that feels like not clunky, but still works.
Like legit.
Yeah, just so the characters are able to, since they can't get everything done in the 1 hour they're supposed to be able to get it done in. You need them to be able to like go backwards, but not like abuse it. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I would ask you to share more about that idea, but I also like, I don't know, I don't want to put out
so it's called like the Night of the Moon Mice is the working title, right? So like the town that recently experienced a plague that was spread by cats, so the town had to get rid of, or they thought it was spread by cats at least, so the town thought they had to get rid of all their cats, which meant when the cats are away, the mice will play. So the Rat King has gotten a hold of some old magics he found in the basement of the Crab Shack out by the lakeside, and wants to use that to bring the moon down because, as everyone knows, the moon is made of cheese, and they are desperately hungry to feed his growing empire. So the characters would only, learn of this plot at like 11 p.m. when the moon is set to crash at midnight, and that's because they'll learn of it by there's suddenly the moon and it's huge in the sky and it's getting closer. And so I wanted it to be like a town crawl, right? So it'd be like a point crawl through a town. There'd be different factions, like the overworked Rat Catchers Guild, who's currently on strike because they keep having to just catch more and more and more mice, and yet they're not getting more compensation for working, 12, 13-hour days trying to get rid of all these mice. And then
too real.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then like another group, like I haven't quite landed on. I want there to be a coven of like witches or a group of like apothecaries that I think would be an interesting faction to include. And then probably like the Fisherman's Guild. And then generally the players would have to try and, solve everything in an hour, which they really couldn't do. So what I wanted to do was try to work in, since the mice are climbing up this big clock at the center of town, to pull the moon down with these long magical gossamer threads.
Especially in the
I wanted it so the characters could somehow manipulate the clock tower to change the time back to 11 o'clock, reversing anything they've done other than what's happened to themselves. But I'm thinking, like, if you can design the adventure right, they would have, like, keys or ways into new places that they couldn't get into before because, say, the Rat Catchers Guild, one of the people in the Rat Catchers Guild had the key to the dungeon under the Crab Shack. So to get into that dungeon, they'd have to first go and speak with the rat hostile to them because they think they're going to be scabs moving in to take their work while they're on strike. And then, so, it'd take them an hour probably, or maybe half an hour to solve that, and that's probably not enough time to do the dungeon, so then they'd want to have to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's overcomplicating it, but I feel like that could be an interesting mechanic. And it's just like, how do you do it in a way where the characters aren't just like, oh, we fucked up, quick, go back to the tower and reverse it again. Like, oh no, we're losing this fight, quick, run back to the tower and reverse it again.
Yeah, like there has to be some sort of like time bomb, right? Like beyond the actual time bomb. Like there has to be a reason they can't just abuse it.
Right. I mean, I guess if I made it a central location they'd have to return to, they could technically not abuse it too hard, and maybe it's okay that they use it a little, like that they're a little hard on it, right?
Yeah. Sure.
It's just trying to find that balance, at least to me right now. That's what I'm struggling with. But yeah, kind of play it by ear. But I would love to get that. I wanted to commission Aaron and Teal to do some art for it, and then I wanted to just basically put it online for free.
Hell yeah.
Because I don't mind paying a little bit of, a fair bit of money so that my friends can do really cool art for this idea I had. Assuming, of course, that in the contract that we make, they agree that it's okay for me to distribute this product for free that contains their artwork. Right. Yada, yada, yada. All that supporting artist crap.
I just want to say I'm very pleased with this seasonal artifact because hand cannons and bows both have mods in the first row.
No, I haven't even looked. Let me look. We got anything for old Jamesy here? Pulse rifle, scout. So no auto rifles, no grenade launchers, no shotguns. That's fine. All right. So let's think.
It's good. It's just gonna get you to branch out.
Overload.
Right?
unstoppable anti-barrier. There we go.
The hammer must be equipped to acquire Cabal gold.
Whoa! Where do we equip the hammer?
I don't know.
Cabal gold.
I mean, it looks like it's just equipped. I don't know.
You want me to put the hammer down?
One thing that I love about the, I don't know, like the way that you design that stuff is, you like, just let me gush over you for a little bit, okay? You communicate the setting of your world in a way that doesn't, like, when I hear like all the cats ran out of town, the mice are climbing the clock tower to try to pull down the moon with gossamer strings because it's made of cheese, like I feel like that little bit of information gives me like very vivid picture of your world that you're trying to create, and I love it. I don't know.
I'm glad. Thank you, my friend. I very much appreciate that. That's touching, really. It's the thing you always worry about, right? That's like the thing you always think like, there's no way I'm doing this right. This isn't going to make sense to somebody. This is all over the map.
No, I love it. Also, so I'm looking at this Season of the Chosen vendor subscreen, and all of the like tier focusing stuff is all done by completing a certain amount of like chests or final blows and stuff instead of just buying them. I am into that.
Hell yeah. All right, let me take a gander here.
Why don't you do that?
I will. I'll do that.
Why don't you?
Oh, okay. You have to use. It looks like for some of these tier 2 focusing, you have to use the seasonal weapon to get it. And then tribute chest. Okay. Right. Tribute chest. All right.
So, how many of these things do we have to do? That's a question. Like, is it like everything else? Do you have to do like 3 of them a week? Or I guess not. I guess it's just like...
It's a good question. Let's take a look at our challenges.
Let's find out. Because like...
I thought we just completed the Challengers Proving quest, did we not?
Because there's still like the weekly strike and crucible like challenges as well, that aren't. I don't think those are listed out in the challenges tab, are they? Yeah, they're not. So, oh, weird. Okay. This is what they're talking about. So if you go into your challenges now, there's the seasonal tab, and then there's the week 1 tab. And they have, I think they're only doing 10 total weeks, right? Based off the number of slots, even though there's like 13 weeks in the season, to try and allow you to like get through everything, even if you miss a week or 2.
Oh, I see.
That's
Complete. Okay, 0
cool.
out of 75 challenges finished, despite having technically 100 if it's a 10-week thing. Okay. Yeah. Rad. Oh, I have all of these iron banners that were sitting at like 96% when I rage quit.
No.
Oh well. Well, no, maybe it wasn't a rage quit. It was just that we ended the night and I never got back on to play Iron Banner solo because, well, you know why.
Because you love it too much.
That's exactly it. I just
sucked in.
I just love it so much. me and PvP, we are tight buds.
So it looks like the next step of the Challengers Proving Quest, so we're on step 6 of 12, is just to do our regular stuff until we've collected 14 ingots of Cabal gold.
I love gold. Okay. Let's do our regular stuff.
Yeah, so I picked up strike bounties. I don't know if
I should have.
Let's go to the tower. And we can knock our strikes out tonight.
I'll just push you around while you do that. There you go.
Sounds good. What I'm trying to do is knock out one of the playlist things each night, ideally.
Okay. Sounds right.
Do strikes on Wednesday or strikes on Tuesdays. I'll probably do Crucible on Wednesdays, Gambit on Thursdays, and then the rest of the time is for whatever we want to do.
Whatever we want to do.
Actually, maybe I should save Crucible for Fridays, huh?
I mean, technically, I do need to do those too, right? So yeah.
It was fun when we got Seth.
No, it absolutely was when it was the three of us and we were just shooting the shit and I wasn't focused on how often I was dying.
Yeah.
It was a lot better.
It's the dream.
Yes, Rahul, give me that power weapon.
Relay, super.
Rahul.
Another golden age blueprint for interplanetary.
Guess who's broke again? It's me.
Super Scout rocket. Wait, that's not what I want.
Oh, hey. We could have just picked up the bounties from Helm, couldn't we? Yeah, we could have.
I don't know.
Yeah, remember there's that little bounty terminal next to the Reforger. I could have just picked up these bounties from there.
Interesting. I know you can grab them in the app as well, but
the app.
You have to use the app.
Yes,
so Scout, Rocket, Solar, yeah. This feels a lot more manageable to me. It feels like you could, handily be able to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Complete these in a single run, without having to switch weapons around a bunch.
I agree.
Is
Guardians.
Right.
Whoa. Defeat. Oh, because it's mayhem. Oh, it's mayhem. Ugh. Defeat 50 Guardians with super abilities and mayhem. There's just gonna be hunters fucking shooting their snares everywhere, draining your supers.
Fine.
What's the poor Titan to do?
I need a rocket launcher. Okay.
What if everything you ever wanted came in a rocket can?
So, James, I see that we have 2 viewers now. So, much like Terry Gross does on her show, I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce you. Hi, everyone. This is Colin, i.e. Slightgeist. My guest again is James, i.e. Fightman. We're Slight and Fight in the morning, at night.
Butthole in the hard way. Here on 97.6. The Jerks.
Okay, rocket launcher. That's what I was doing. And we are about to do our strikes for the week. So
that's right, we are.
I assume that both of you are either bots or our friends from Discord. Feel free to drop a hi in the chat if you want. We are just talking about. We're trying to pick a random topic every night we do this. I guess. Are you good if I go ahead and launch this while I talk like a dummy?
Oh hell yeah!
Okay.
We're striking it up.
Oh, you can
Let's
do
get-
battlegrounds as the playlist after you finish Challengers Proving. I
Nice.
see.
That sounds
Man,
very
everything looks really nice.
handy.
So our topic tonight has been how our goals have changed as we've gotten older, and we've talked a lot about like career stuff. We've talked about like creative stuff.
Oh,
I
shit,
do.
that's a singe.
Oh yes, I forgot. Void. Yes.
Void singe.
Oh, that was a dumb thing to do. You know what they say about walking and chewing gum at the same time?
No, what did they say about it?
We're not doing either, and I still can't fucking do it.
Hey, there you go. I came here to walk and chew bubble gum.
I do think that like some of my goals have turned more internal, right? Have turned to like now that I feel like I've recognized some of the like I don't know, just like the destructive stuff that like cycles that I've gotten into throughout my life, like working on trying to like I don't know, fix is the right word. I don't think it is, but like work on those things, you know? Started going to therapy, started getting more like invested in just like trying to chill the hell out once in a while, you know? I'm interested if you want to talk about this, of course, feel free, you know, to decline, but like, do you feel like your like goals for your like personal well-being have changed as you've gotten older?
I'm still pretty cavalier about my personal well-being.
Yeah,
that's a tough. It's a tough one to give you a straight answer to, because there's a lot about, you know, there's a lot about myself that we both know I struggle with, and you know, I have hopefully 80-ish years total to kind of figure that out, but
sure.
Well, I guess that technically you don't ever have to figure it out, because if you die, it's not like... Anyway, I still need to focus on that. But, man, I don't know. It's very hard to feel any kind of... I almost don't feel responsible for my own... Well, that's not a good way to put it, because it makes it sound like I shirk self-care, and I don't always do, but sometimes I think just saying I'm cavalier about it is a pretty good descriptor, you know? I'm not...
Sure.
I don't put a lot of thought or effort into improving my personal well-being even now, but I never did when I was younger, as like a kid.
Yeah.
You know, we go through the whole thing, like lose weight. We try to do that. I've tried to do that many times, and it always kind of seems to backtrack. I mean, I guess technically I'm always lighter than I was before when I try again. So technically there's progress, but
it's hard for that to feel like progress sometimes, certainly.
Or ever. Yeah. That is true. I don't know. My own goals for personal well-being. I got the depression medication that while ago, but unfortunately, it all I did was make me sleepy. And then now that I've lost my health insurance, I can't really go back and try to get a different one, and that's on me.
Well, I don't know about that. Like, I don't think that
it is, because I could have
responsibility.
I can and I will, because I could have set up another appointment with the doc after I kind of realized that it's not working. I already talked to her once about it, and she was like, "Well, just give it more time." And it's kind of like, sure, let me just try a different one, but okay, if you're not willing to prescribe me a new one, then I guess we'll just do what you say. That's Probably the wrong time to shield it up. Well,
I mean, you just like
You're
wrecked
making
my
good progress,
life, so
but taken energy readings are still off the charts.
that's fair.
There must be a source. The Cabal heard
yeah, it's hard
but the
working with
Taken can ruin the
especially
community
working with a
forever.
general
Put
practitioner
an end to this.
for that kind of
If the
stuff
Taken wanted
because
to
like
poison the entire dead zone, this
I don't know,
was the place to do it. They didn't pick it by
double-edged
accident.
sword, right? Like
If they succeed,
in a lot of
we won't
cases,
have
that
room on the
medication
farm.
does take a long time,
still treating
like
wounded from the Red
well,
Wall.
at least like
It
a
won't
couple
come to
weeks
that.
to really, depending on the medication. And some of the side effects are really jarring, if not in the long term, at least in the short term, to your like everyday life, and it makes you question like, well, is this better? At the same time, like they're as a GP, like best interest is like not having it on record that they're prescribing a bunch of different kinds of things to people, and they like, I don't know. Our whole, this is a topic for another time, but our whole, we should get Seth in on that one. But
yeah, we definitely should.
The medical situation as a whole is just bad for everybody, including doctors.
Yeah, including doctors, which is kind of amazing, really.
Yes. But yeah,
so yeah, as far as my answer goes, I don't want to bold-faced lie and sit here and say like, oh no, yeah, I've thought a lot more about what it means to take care of myself and what it would take, because that's not really true. Like,
no, and I appreciate sharing. Again, only what you're
I guess there's a part of me that still feels a little invincible too, even though that is decidedly untrue.
It's good to admit that, probably, or to know that.
Yeah, probably. What about you, Colin? We've touched on it already, but you're feeling pretty. I guess I wouldn't necessarily say thrilled, but better about your at least your awareness of your own mental health and
That's
personal
a good way.
well-being.
Awareness, yes, about my mental health. Directly, maybe not, but like a big thing for me, and this is the thing I've been thinking about a lot lately, is just like one of the big symptoms for me. James, you know this, but like our viewers may not. I have diagnosed GAD, general anxiety disorder, as well as like not formally diagnosed depressive symptoms that generally accompany it. But one of the big symptoms that I have, symptoms maybe not even the right word, but it's just like intrusive thoughts. And that's been a thing since I was a kid, but I didn't really, because it was a thing since I was a kid, I didn't realize what it was until I was an adult, and so that's been kind of like a real trip, like trying to come to terms with that, and like trying to come to terms with like, oh, these things aren't like me, they aren't my intention, they're, well, me is wrong too, they are me, but they're like, this is your brain testing you.
I had
you're a good person.
I had what was it? Somebody had posted a link to, I don't know if you've heard of Philosophy Tube, but yeah, you have.
Yeah,
right? So his particular video regarding emotional abuse, which certainly resonated pretty strongly with me. There was just this one part where he said, it's amazing to learn that some of the voices inside your head aren't actually your own, because they're made up of what other people have told you about yourself, or what something like a mental illness has told you about yourself. And I never really thought about that up until he'd put it into words like that.
Even then, I feel like I don't quite comprehend it yet. I do want to point out that I don't know if you saw it or not yet. Philosophy Tube actually just put out a video where she came out as trans.
Right. And did I use the male pronoun? That was my mistake. That was
you did, but
because I did watch that. I did watch that video, and I should have remembered. But
it's that's the only reason I bring it up is because I know that
I'll consult to
you wouldn't
Excellent work.
want to do that. So anyway, off topic. So that's been a big thing for me. Is just like, I don't know, like it really has made me question a lot about myself, about growing up, about I got to stop killing things with this auto rifle. I don't have any bounties for an auto rifle. So it's good, but it like has only raised more questions for me as well, I guess.
All right. Well, so okay, let's roll it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going forward. Let's say you're 75-year-old Colin. And your brain's in a jar and it's about to be put in a robot body, which is totally what's going to happen in the next 40 years, by the time we hit our 70s.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
What do you feel like your goals... I guess a better question would be, what goals do you envision you would have accomplished before you become a robot? And then you can just accomplish all your goals with the speed and efficiency of a computer, so what's the fun?
Definitely getting published. I circle back to that, but that's a big one for me. And it's one that
you see that you see that happening, like you see that being one that isn't like, and I'm not suggesting it is, but you don't see that one as necessarily a pipe dream. You see that as more of like a very real and work towards possibility.
Oh, that's an exotic engram. Holy cow.
Ooh.
Shards of Galanor. Okay. So I'm going to open it up with a caveat to saying maybe not traditionally published, but I do think that I will want to at least self-publish something, if not try to, just to say I did it.
Well, self-publishing is still publishing. Like in the world of publishing, it's not even non-traditional publishing anymore. There's quite a large percentage of authors these days who are self-publishing. Now, successfully, can't necessarily say that, but they're still doing it.
I don't necessarily believe that I will ever be a quote-unquote successful writer, but I want to put something out there, like leave something behind in that way, I guess, is my point.
Okay.
Advocacy has become a bigger thing for me. Like, I'm just gonna throw all my secrets out on the table in this first quote-unquote episode, I guess. James, you know that I...
Well, it all depends. Is it secret?
Right. You know that I, over the past couple of years, have been coming out as bi to more and more of people in my life, and I assume that eventually even the people I haven't told will find out, probably unintentionally. I think that's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I've gotten involved in this employee resource group at where I work at the city of Grand Rapids for LGBTQIA plus folk, and that has been really meaningful. So I would like to keep that up in some way or another.
Makes sense to me. So you envision 75-year-old Colin will have had roughly 43 years of advocacy experience for people in marginalized groups. I can get behind that.
I hope so, man.
That sounds rad. Yeah. I mean, that's what it comes down to. We're talking about hopes now, because that's another part of goal setting. And when you have goals, they are representative, at least to some degree, of hopes, right?
Definitely.
So, I'm just curious, like, you obviously must, or I assume people rank, their goals in their head, or at least think about what is more or less, what they envision is more or less achievable. So I'm just kind of curious what your general setup is.
I don't know, it's hard. Like there's so much, There's so much that I want to do, and I have found that like relationships are just really important to me, and sorry, I'm like losing my train of thought here, but
no, it's all good. We're killing the spider tank, so it's hard to stay focused sometimes.
My relationship with Katie is like markedly the most important thing in my life, I would say, overall. So it's I don't know if that's a goal, but it's definitely like a thing that I value and a thing that I want to continue to keep at the top of my priority list.
You envision 75-year-old Colin would have not lost that love and appreciation of his spouse.
Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
I getcha. Ritual Glimmer Boost. Boy, oh boy. For a poor asshole like me, that's a very nice seasonal bonus to get early.
Yeah. That's really all I can think of, man. What about you? So when you're 135-year-old James, because you have really figured out how to like stay healthy and like just extend
taking every experimental medicine under the sun. Yeah, that's right.
And I keep adding. Go in the jar. What's going to be on your list?
Oh, as far as achievable goes, I like to have. Well, at that age, I guess I wouldn't have it, but I would like to, or I envision myself being able to look back on my 30s and 40s as the time when I built that lumberjack body I've always wanted.
Yeah.
And I can split a phone book with my hands.
I'd want that.
Definitely the idea of in a similar vein, I would love to become more of a participant, and at 75 I could envision myself actually being a voice within right now it's the OSR community, but it could just be the general RPG community as a whole, because that certainly occupies one of the most important places in my non-work life. Is just I find that kind of storytelling and that kind of escapism really resonates with me, and I feel like in our dying world is incredibly important. Let me see. I'd like to my plan is certainly my one of the hopes for 75-year-old or 135-year-old me is that I will have had children and grandchildren and so on and so forth unto the ages. Gotta spread that 3% Neanderthal, you know what I mean? Gotta keep them sloped foreheads going.
Gotta keep you guys around.
That's right. Other than that, I think something that's always been tossing around in my head that I know is doable. I just need to to save up the money and do it would be finish an Appalachian through hike.
Oh yeah.
I think pulling that off would just be such a... I don't know if I want to say I have a lot riding on that idea, but it would kind of... It's always felt to me like that is the proving to myself that I finally escaped the clutches of only ever playing video games and sitting on my butt and being a pretty lethargic 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But it just, did it in the long ago, back in grade school when we had these things called intensive weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And like one of them was the math teacher, Mr. Post, would just take everybody on a big hiking trip up into the Appalachian Mountains for a couple days. And it's so gorgeous up there.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, where else am I going to get a chance to wrestle a bear? That seems like my best chance. Like, the most likely location for me to be able to bear wrestle is going to be in the Appalachian Mountains, so...
You're not wrong.
Seems like it's now or never.
But also, please don't do that. Please, James.
You're not my mom. I can do what I want. I'm a grown ass man, thank you. But yeah, no, it probably wouldn't be good. I don't think that the Rangers would appreciate me fucking up wildlife like that, because we all know that's what would happen. That bear wouldn't know what fucking hit it.
Yeah, this seems right. I don't know.
Sir, please stop molesting the bear. Step away from the bear. Yes, exactly. Otherwise, I'm sure you've had this feeling, but past few years, I've still been struggling with that feeling of like, I'm so close to getting up off the ground, to finally living in the comfort that I've desired since I was in high school. I've never been somebody motivated by the idea of making a bunch of money. The only thing I'm motivated by is always having a roof over my head and like food and the ability to like have weekends off, take vacations, like have experiences that aren't focused around ensuring that I'm not, fucking spending all of my life savings or whatever.
No, I definitely feel that.
What's this shit? We knocked the shield out and he was still invulnerable.
I definitely feel like, I don't know, like, everybody gets sold just this, like, false bill of goods, right? Damn, that is buggy as hell.
Yeah, we're just burning him too fast.
I guess. Or, like, I don't know, people have talked this to death, and I don't want to sound like a victim because I'm not, like,
Sure, we're a couple of white dudes, like...
Yeah, like, I have privilege in a lot of ways. But also, like, the education system that we grew up in still had this, like, 50s golden era idea that, like, you can do whatever you want, you just have to believe in yourself, and then, like, we're like, okay, I guess I believe in myself by going to community college, because I haven't received any real guidance in, like, figuring out what I want, I don't know, man. It's hard.
Yeah, it is.
You end up working a bunch of back-to-back jobs that, like, at least if I'm honest with myself, we're all, like, dead ends. Like, I didn't want to do retail or, like, valet my whole life,
I'm so glad you got out of that valet management position. That shit was killing you, literally. I hope it's okay to talk about, but do you remember when you met us all at Hopcat that one time? After you'd finished like a shift? Do you remember that at all?
Just barely remember it.
Do you want me to tell you about it, or do you want me just to leave it be?
That's fine.
Okay, so we just met up at Hopcat. We were super excited because it's the first time we've been able to see you in person for like 3 weeks. And we met up at Hopcat, and you were just, you're poor. You just looked so exhausted about everything. And we tried not to talk about work, but at the end of the day, it's like so much of what we had to focus on because we just weren't seeing you anywhere, right? And then you get a call where one of your other managers can't handle what's going on at a store on the opposite side of town, and you fucking started crying. And it's like the first time I had seen you actively stress cry from some kind of scenario like that. And you just got up, you left your burger there, you had like 3 bites out of it, you just got up and you had to go. And it is like the saddest, like, most depressing, like, just seeing your friend like that. And you know, you want to say something, but at the same time you're like, man, he's doing the hustle, he's trying to make that money so he doesn't have to live like all the rest of us schmucks normally do. Like, respect.
Like, what can you say?
And then,
that's crazy.
Oh, God. It's fucking brutal.
I like.
So yeah, I'm glad you're not doing that job
anymore. It. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of that summer is a little bit repressed for me. Just because it was nonstop. I remember that was the only time in my life where like I straight up was going for like, what was it? Like I picked stuff up to go do this. It was my first big event there. And like I wanted to nail it, right? And at that point it's just me. They replaced that position that I was in with like 3 people. But
you don't say. Huh.
Well, the people before me just like,
we're here, stranger.
Man, hopefully they never hear this.
What, they just like
they just fucked around. Like they didn't take it seriously at all. And they were like kids, you know, which is fine, but like
I prefer
they were just like people who had been valets, which I was too. Like I can't say anything about it, but the guy that I like took over with, my manager, like he was very serious about it, and I wanted to be very serious to like impress him. You know, we were gonna. That dude doesn't quit. Like that dude still hustles, and I don't know how he does it. Like mad respect to him because that dude has provided for his family and like killed it in ways I can't understand. But I remember there was this event at this golf course, and I got up at like 2 or 3 in the morning to go get all the stuff to take it back to this golf course and meet all my guys there, or I shouldn't say guys, it was all of our employees. It was a mix of young men and women.
Of people, right, of course.
And yeah, so we met there at like 4.
I don't know, we are in the Midwest. We do just say guys.
Folks. Folks. And I brought everybody coffee and like breakfast and stuff, and I was hoping I would be able to like leave for a while, like that everything would be okay, but it was just so insane all day that I left for maybe half an hour to grab some lunch, and came back and ended up just going until like midnight, like almost a 24-hour day of just working.
Oh my
and, like,
God. Was that a salaried position?
It was.
Oh, of course it was. Fuck.
Yeah, but you know, like, to their credit, I don't think anybody had ever done the job the way that we were trying to make it work. Wow, did I just get stasis? Wow. So I don't blame the management. You know, like, it was just unfortunate that I kind of had to like discover the needs of the job for our team, and I only ended up working it through the summer, and I quit, I think, like September, October, because I just couldn't take the driving back and forth from Ann Arbor all the time and all the late nights and stuff.
Thank God you did.
Like,
thank goodness you did.
People have worked a lot worse jobs for a lot longer, and I don't want to.
It doesn't invalidate your struggle.
Yeah. Insane. What is the job that you have worked, if you don't mind talking about it, that has been like the most taxing, most stressful in some way or another, like to you personally?
Boy, I've had so many in the past. Not just jobs in general, not necessarily stressful jobs.
Just like shitty jobs.
Yeah, I've had plenty of shitty jobs. That's for sure. Most taxing on my body was certainly the groundskeeping work for the parks department there.
Oh yeah.
That's just because, you know, the city had like 8 parks, and there were 4 of us, 5 of us. But as far as just like mentally taxing, it's just fucking retail, man. It's just working at Lowe's day in, day out for years, and it just grinds you down. When I finally got those delivery jobs, when I was working delivery instead of on the floor, oh my God, what a difference that made in my work life. You know, you had to show up just a touch. You had to show up just a touch earlier, which is, of course, I lag spike and then I run off the edge here. You know, you had to show up about at 7:30, which is normally okay, because I mean half the time I was working the 5:30 a.m. shifts, because of course contractors want to go buy all of their wood at 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
And granted, I get why, because you want to be able to get it out to the site, but like,
yeah,
damn,
still pretty rough.
And then so you know, running delivery was just like out there by 7:30 every day, and then you were done when you were done. So sometimes you were home by like 3 in the afternoon, and sometimes you were home at midnight. And that was okay, because it was, you know, 9/10 of it was driving around, and then it'd be like, bring this fridge into my basement and hook it up to the water, please. Well, we couldn't hook up fridges, technically.
Well, like,
oops. But still, just that kind of idea. I hope you guys are going to get summoned in.
We are.
Oh, good. So I'm like, okay, good. Sitting here, fucking, this is already kind of annoying enough with just 3 people. But yeah, just like working the floor, man. I would say especially when I was going to college. When I was going to college in the city, and then it'd be like, oh hey, you got your 8 a.m. class, but we still need you to come in for a 5:30 a.m. shift. And it's like, well, I can't do both of those. Not just because it's taxing mentally, but even more importantly, it is physically impossible for me to be in 2 places at once. And I told you guys that I have class at 8 in the morning at Thursdays, and they were just like, oh, well, I forgot. And it's like, And then, you know, eventually they fucking fired my ass because they claimed that I had to keep calling in, and my only rebuttal was, yeah, I had to call into the shifts you constantly scheduled when I was in class. But whatever. Fine. And just dealing with folks.
Yes. I feel like COVID has... I feel so bad for retail people during COVID, because I remember what it was like working retail normally.
Yeah, when you weren't concerned that each customer could literally kill you on accident without knowing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Trying to think. I mean, the ice cream shop was a pretty nice gig, especially when I was trusted to do I was trusted to do management work, but was not paid a manager's wage. I was not technically a manager, but I'd still run and close the place by myself. I'd count the till, I'd do the numbers, I'd balance the books. You know, as a 20-year-old kid doing all that stuff, still making $11 an hour at an ice cream shop. Which, I mean, all told, during, what would it have been, 2009 when I was 20, so $1 an hour in 2009 for a 20-year-old, certainly our worst incomes, and then of course I made tips on top of that. But it would have been nice to be paid as a manager.
For managing.
When I was, yes, for managing.
Yeah.
James, will you train all the new people because you've been here for 4 years? Which almost felt like a subtle dig. Like, why the hell are you been here for 4 years, kids? You started when you were 15, going on 16.
That is the thing that kills me. Is just like young workers are almost treated as like a secondary class of workers sometimes. Like,
the
whole minimum wage debate has been really irking me for that reason. Like the argument that like, oh, what, you want to pay some 15-year-old $15 an hour to work? Yeah, I do, because like,
I do,
just as hard as you, or more harder.
Why? Yeah, like more harder. Like what the fuck makes you think that they don't work hard just because they're young?
Like
it almost feels like they're just older people being grumpy at young people being young. The tale is old as time.
Absolutely. And people talk about how they're all about the free market and shit, but then they say that stuff, and it just like makes me think like, oh, you haven't actually like. You can't always blame people, but like, I feel like in this situation there are enough resources available that if you wanted to know the economics of this, you could.
Yeah. I mean, what, utility costs have gone up like 18%, rent costs have gone up 33% over the last, was it 20 years, 10 years? The minimum wage has not increased at all. So it'd be 10 or 15 years, I guess.
We already have places in the country that have standardized $15 minimum wage, and yes, there is a bit of inflation that happens, but like it has not been in any way crippling, and it's only benefited those people, So we have proof that it works, at least anecdotally.
Yes, anecdotal. I mean, I could have swore I shouldn't say I could have swore. It would just be, I'm sure studies have been done regarding the economic impact of increasing a minimum wage for an area. I'm sure there is appreciable data that can be referenced. It doesn't all have to be anecdotal. It just happens that we aren't the brainy smarties with that kind of data.
Yeah, where's our friend Casey?
Yeah, where is Casey?
He knows things.
Yeah, like he knows he doesn't like Destiny for reasons I can't understand. He likes a story game. I love you, Casey, but this is a story game.
He tried it the other day. I give him full marks, man. He has tried this game for us, like,
yeah, that's true, and it has been pretty much for us. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is very true. There's nothing but love. Nothing but love, dude. That's true.
JC, I hope if you're listening that you'll call into the show and tell us your perceptions.
Oh my god. We could actually, like, run this so you could have people call in. Alright, and we're gonna take it over to our first caller.
I was trying to do Streamlabs OBS so that I could have like the video, because I got my room all set up cool, and that I could do
right.
Like,
you got your scarves in the background,
which would allow us to like do stuff like that. But my Surface Book 2 for all of the good things it can do, it was not like me playing Stadia and running Streamlabs OBS at the same time. Just like, it was real bad when I tested it. So I've got to decide if I'm going to just do this for a while. That's why I kind of wanted to try this week and see if I really like it enough to invest, you know? That said, I'm having a ball right now. Like, it's cool to talk about stuff in a slightly more facilitated way. It's like, you and I have talked about everything under the sun over the years, you know?
And some things not under the sun. Deep down in dark holes, buried deep, hidden away. Where no one is supposed to hear or see it. That's right.
Some things that we can only get to by digging too greedily and too deep.
And far too deep. The battleground of Mordor.
So
tell me where is Gandalf? For I much desire to speak with him.
Here's my problem. Like, I'm probably going to be buying some new stuff for this music project. And also would need to buy new stuff to get something that I could stream on. But also, like, the whole point was to have Stadia, you know, and, like, not require some... I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
It's like,
the whole point of you latching onto the Stadia train was so you didn't have to be like the rest of us schmucks and invest in incredibly expensive machines. Yeah.
Like, I have thought maybe what I could do is get a capture card, which I think is what Seth is doing for their Switch right now. And then I could use like a secondary laptop just to run OBS. So maybe that's worth looking at. I don't know. I wanted something that worked, you know?
We're safe for now.
Yeah.
But they'll be back again in no time.
You know where to find us when they do.
We'll see.
I do indeed.
I don't know. What do you think? Are you enjoying the format of this?
Yeah.
Like, is it a thing you want to do more of?
We certainly could.
Like, I would love to get...
I don't mean to sound cagey. I'm on board.
No.
Yeah.
It's just like, it would be really cool to bring in people like Seth to talk about their experiences. Get my friend Emma in here. I don't know. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Fire Team Side Chat. There you go. It's like a little bit of a play on FDR's old Fireside Chat. I'm sure that would be a reference.
Side Chat.
There you go.
I love it. Was that 3?
Chat.
That was 3, right?
That was 3. We've 3'd it up.
I still have a couple bounties left, but I might save those for nightfall.
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, I guess they expire in a day. I don't know. Do you want to just hop into like that?
Let's do it. Whatever.
All right.
Whatever you want to do, let's do it. We're gonna do it.
Okay. I'm gonna just real quick change things up so that I can do what I need here. So melee, super,
auto rifle, linear fusion, scout, SMG, trace. I didn't catch that. I was trace in there.
I gotta go to a place that has Cabal, James. What
Cabal?
is one where we can kill Cabal? Or I guess I could maybe just go back to
the drill or the prison of elders. But the drill will have more Cabal than the prison.
Is that Nessus?
There's also Firebase, whatever, the other Earth one. The where we have to fight a tank and dunk an orb.
Oh, you know, there are 2 new strikes that went live from D1 too today.
Oh, are there now?
Supposedly. Maybe we have to get them in matchmaking before they show up. There's... What is it? I can't remember.
I think one of them is over at the Cosmodrome, right? It's the one where we fight Big Servitor Boy.
Yeah, you're right.
The very first strike from whose name for some reason I can't remember.
Yeah, that's the one. I'm trying to remember where is it the Insight? No. What did you say? We need to go to the drill.
No, the fire team on Earth, the fire base on Earth, rather.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Whatever that is. You should be
Stealer, is that the one?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
Where we fight Brachus Tarn or something like that. The
Broccoli Rob.
where we fight Broccoli Rob. Ugh. Broccoli Rob.
Oh, we're down to one viewer. Our content that's down by 50%, James.
Did you hear about that lady who put fucking Gorilla Glue in her hair?
Oh my god, I don't even want to.
And now there are requests for Gorilla Glue to like give her things in compensation, and it's like, you mean if I just did dumb shit with Gorilla Glue, I could ask them for compensation too, even though it's glue?
So I don't know if you ever watched Philip DeFranco on YouTube. I started watching him like several years ago, and I generally enjoy him. For the most part, I like his takes on things, and I feel like he does a good job like telling the story of what's going on in random news. And he did a spot on this, and I love the way he said it, like, because unfortunately, like, I do think that the online racist culture is latching onto this, which sucks. But also, like, that was a real stupid thing to do. And like there's like talks of like litigation and stuff. I'm like, come on, there's no way, there's no way that you didn't know that Gorilla Glue is going to be a problem in your hair.
You would think.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe.
Well, no, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think it's wrong to assume people know how to read labels. I don't think that that's necessarily privileged.
For a while.
Like, I've done dumb stuff before, but not like that.
It certainly does take a real special kind of oops. Not paying attention, not thinking about it, just like.
I can access this.
I've had those fugue states before, right? Where like for some reason you have a ridiculous thought, but because you're either tired or drunk or just feeling weird, that it sounds like a really fucking good idea at the time.
Yeah, that's
absolutely not. So, that could have happened. It's still not the responsibility of the Gorilla Glue company. As much as I'm all for making a company pay as much goddamn money to individuals as I can.
Yeah, like, there has to be, like, some kind of... The company didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the divide, and there's like... You both want to be ethical, but also you do want large companies to suffer. Maybe that's a little radical.
Like, I get what you're saying. Like, basically, the way the current system is set up, it seems to me almost impossible to ethically become a giant company.
Yeah.
I try not to generalize, but I don't know.
You're a better man than me. I've stopped caring so much about generalizing or not, because funny, you and I are generalized all the time, being the dumb consumers that we are.
Find where it'll do the most damage.
It's true. Sometimes I am a little dumb, though.
Sometimes we all a little dumb. What do you mean you dodged my rocket?
Well, I'm pretty sure he dodged your rocket, I guess.
Yeah, he did. I'm pretty sure you are correct. I'm pretty sure. I have to say.
What's going on?
Uh-oh.
Okay,
What are
I'm
you?
alright. I'm alive. I was just like, yeah, take that, Thresher. I was just like lagging out, dying, all the things you want in your gaming experience.
Yes, right. All the things you want in a Destiny strike. With half the calories. And all the flavor. Is Katie still buying those delicious low-cal brownies?
Dude, yeah. We buy.
I want to know where
we get the Aldi, man.
Oh, really? I mean,
Yeah.
they do have an Aldi up here now. I guess I could take a look-see. At the Aldi.
Brownies and lemon bars and cinnamon cakes, and they're all
Insecure men tend to surround
amazing.
themselves with others like them.
Okay. Anything to add?
Nope. She's just
Fudge. That shit's so good.
Yeah, I love them.
And it's perfect because Katie gets to be the guinea pig for all of them before she exposes any of us to it. We won't have to eat the bad ones. She's only going to share the good ones. Well, I'm sure she would share the bad ones if there were bad ones that she brought home.
I don't know.
Probably exclusively. Colin, James, you guys want this? You sure? You want another one? Yeah, let me just give you 4 of them. I don't know, that feels like a very Katie thing to do.
I don't know. Maybe.
I could be wrong.
Maybe like one time that's important. I don't think she
Well, yeah, no, that's certainly what I would suggest. As a joke.
Yikes.
One of ours, I
Amanda Holiday was able to scrounge one up.
Oh, what a time to lag spike here. Come on, really?
So I finally picked up, what is it? Is it Polaris Lance? The Solar Scout that,
yeah, I love it.
You...
I use it on my Hunter a bunch.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it really is. Those headshot explosions were honestly, like, that was some of the most fun I had farming up a catalyst, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of, though, I gotta get some orbs going here, so I'm gonna switch my loadout a little bit.
It's morphin', it's Orban time.
Yeah, I need like 20 more super kills by the end of this thing.
Ooh.
Don't know if it's possible, but we're gonna see.
We're inside the ship again. Zahn can't
Can
be
it be
far
orbed?
now.
Could be some really weird defenses in there. Not just flame turrets. I'm talking real.
Don't mess with them. They need to stay focused.
Don't mess with them.
No sign of sound.
Tank.
That elevator is the only way
Tank time.
forward
What up, Tank?
and up.
The Cabal made an elevator that goes forward. Man, they are inefficient.
Man, that tank got wrecked.
Just gain back all the super energy here. Oh, shit. Missed. Never mind. I won't gain back any super energy here.
Oh, shit.
Excuse you up there.
Seriously. Oh, is this the one where we have to go do the thing? I'll be mad if it is.
We'll find out. Oh, your cloak is all freaking out. Yeah, it is.
Your cloak is freaking out, man.
Freaking out, man!
I can't remember the last time we did this, and it wasn't the one where we had to do that. Like,
Yeah, it certainly feels like it's been a while, huh?
One? Oh my god, dude. Fucking... Come on.
Oh.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, there goes all my progress on some of those bounties. The auto rifle and the fusion trace sub.
Want to get to you, but I don't think it's gonna happen for a minute.
You just gotta shoot its tires. You got it.
There we go.
It's hover
God,
tires.
I'm lagging so much.
What?
Okay, is it okay if I sword these guys so that I can get some...
Do it!
Thank you. Orbs!
Orbs! Give me the orbs.
25. Ugh.
Orbs?
No.
Or
super kills.
Super kills. Do you get more kills as a bow guy or as the blades? I feel like you get a lot of kills as the shadow blades, right?
Yeah,
Or do you get?
I'm on my arc one right now. I'm on the bow staff.
Yeah, I know a lot of skills. I have bow staff skills.
Bow staff skills.
Computer hacking skills.
Nunchuck skills.
Computer hacking skills. I spent like 3 hours on the shading of your upper lip. I need to watch that movie again. I'm told it doesn't hold up, but I struggle to believe that. I feel like there's no way Napoleon Dynamite doesn't... Oh, you're right! I should put it on the list.
Damn, dude.
The list!
The list is on fire.
And put the let the motherfucker. Okay, Colin should generate more orbs for you by killing stuff with my super here.
Hooray!
So I will make sure not to burn down the... I'm sure we both will, not to burn down Brachus-san at the top level so he can spawn lots of dudes. Is that what we want?
Mm-hmm. That would be fantastic. I just got my super back, so...
Perfect. Well, if you want to save it for up top.
I will,
yeah. Me? No, our dude left. Oh, right. Hey, the Cabal showed up. There you go. Okay.
Almost back to the surface.
Watch for air support. This guy's too smart to not have a backup plan.
Yeah, backup plans are overrated.
Here we go.
Okay, Brachus Zan.
Trying to wait until there's a lot of dudes. Oops.
Not the first time I've heard that. I don't really know what that means, but...
Oh,
we
that
might
was
have to
when you
deal
went
damage to him.
Yeah, I think we got to get him down a third, maybe. Oh,
maybe. Oh, couple shots over there. Yeah, when I went to what? That
that Dude
retreat?
Ranch convention.
That's right. Fucking Ram Ranch. Okay, here comes a bunch of guys.
We go. Bunch of guys.
A bunch of guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back here. 6, 7, 8. Another guy. 9.
9. All right. So I'm at 16 of 25 now. So we can just avoid killing him for a little while.
I guess that's what we can do.
Unless we disable that shield, we're sitting down.
Oh yeah. It's not like this guy's an in-rage timer, like it's like an WoW boss or anything, so it works for me. I'm gonna miss my Komodo, even though I've been using Xenophage for so long. I'm gonna miss having it as my backup heavy. I spent all that time grinding for it in a thing I don't like. Had to see it go. Or I should say don't love. I guess I like PvP enough. I just don't like PvP.
Fair. It's fair. TBH.
Is it? TBH or TBF?
TBL.
Oh, we got a new guy coming in with sweet business here. He's going to town.
He's gonna end the whole strike, isn't he?
He may.
Which is fine.
Well, we can't expect a rando to show up and know our super secret, top secret plan.
Why are these guys not shooting?
No, dude, it's just farming mobs, you know? You know?
Oh, I know. Don't
you know?
I know it.
Do you know?
I'm at like 3/4.
I'll tell you what. See if we can get him enough for he still 7 more guys here. Oh, there's a flare, so they should be coming in. Pressure.
Come on. So close. But how's Broccoli Rob doing? That's what I want to know.
He's at just a little above a 3rd, I believe.
Alright.
I don't think he's going to summon more ads till I dunk the ball, so...
That's
get to...
Oh, board? There we go, okay. Well, I just gotta find, like, thing of 9 dudes.
Should spawn more guys. Keep an eye out for more dogs. They seem like they're going to be...
Oh, yeah.
A very good way of... Ooh.
Okay, here we go.
Come on, Brock. Ron. Get him quick.
Shit.
Any more scary new weapons for the Red Legion?
Oh, they'll have to use regular old weapons.
Those we can handle. Nice job.
Bracket.
Super secret.
Secret. Secrets are no fun.
I need 8 more kills.
You can do it.
But they don't have to be cabals anymore. So should we go to that
Lake of Shadows? Good idea.
Yeah. Yep.
Lake of Shadows.
Lake of Shadows. Earth. Siri, navigate to Earth.
Oh, well, hang on. Actually. Oh, Well, yeah, if we want to get it done quick, we'll do Lake of Shadows. I was going to say, we could do that new one in the Cosmodrome.
I'm down.
The old one. Yeah? Let's do that.
All right, let's try it out. Cosmodrome.
Cosmodrome
is, where is it?
No questions.
Don't see it.
Really? Maybe we have to unlock it, or maybe it's going to show up later.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. All right. Lack of Shadows.
No, the other one's Lack of Shadows. Interesting.
No, we don't want a third person. That's the whole thing. Bud.
Bud. Your spare parts, bud.
Your spare parts, bud. What a good line. Yep.
Commonly how I feel about the situation.
I've heard that.
Yeah? Who's fucking telling you? Who's snitching? Why don't you want to tell me, Colin? What are you hiding, Colin?
I wish you could see who your viewers are.
Well, that would remove all the fun and anonymity. Besides, like you said, unfortunately, they are probably bad. But it would be nice to be able to see names.
It's true.
Their real names, with their home addresses in case they want to talk shit.
Bastards.
Welcome to Operation Stormcoat, Guardian. The ticket run rampant out here, even without their king to lead. We need you to confirm what they're doing. Evaluate and neutralize.
Evaluate and neutralize. Guys are like loading in with weird models.
Yeah, they're like all silver for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just don't think they're getting the like skin texture applied quite a bit. It's probably basically like popping. I imagine.
Yeah, shut them down.
It's possible. Oh no. Oh, there was a public event. I could have grabbed a.
Hello.
We grab the banner.
Grab your banner. Well, I'm 115 miles away, so probably not anytime soon. Well, probably more like 150. I always think about that sign on the highway that says you're 115 miles away from the city, but that's not like right outside my door, so
right.
It's actually a decent ways down the highway already.
Okay, I have my super, so I'm gonna run in and try to kill some guys.
Do it. Do it.
Jerks.
Jerk. Oh, hey there, jerk.
Jerk. Oh, man.
Uh-huh. What'd I tell you?
What'd I say?
Sleepy Time Junction.
Oh, come on, Colin.
All
There
aboard
we
the
go.
train.
We did it.
Did we?
I'm gonna run this guy through the rest of this strike real quick.
Yeah, might as well. We're here.
It only seems right.
Okay.
Destroy
I
the
could just
blade.
miss terribly.
That wasn't destroying the blade at all. There we go.
There must be a source.
And
The
we
Cabal
spawn
hurt
into
us,
it.
but the Taken could ruin the EDZ forever. Put an end to this.
Well, now it's switched from psychedelic metal to something very screamy, which I'm not appreciating very much. I like stoner metal because there's no screaming in it.
Right.
And I don't mind growling as much as I just don't like screaming. It's just not my aesthetic, not my taste.
Can it be an aesthetic if it's a noise?
No! By the word, I don't think so. But I could be very wrong. It wouldn't be the first time, nor should it be the last.
We could all be wrong once.
I don't know. Some people are just never wrong. You know?
If being wrong is wrong, I don't want to be right.
That seems like, though... Yeah. No, I guess yeah, that would work.
Oh, what? Oh, shit. Okay.
What's the matter?
Well, I killed the leader, but I died. Is that a good enough explanation for you?
Yeah. That generally covers it.
I was trying to go through, like, as fast as possible, and it just didn't work out for me this time.
Well, there's your problem right there. So you tried to shimmy when you should have shown.
When I should have shaken.
That's right. Build the dome, and then you put a foot outside of it so I can blow up your foot.
Oh, I didn't tell you. Like, the last couple days of last season, I ranked up the rest of my nonsense and did the high celebrant.
Oh, really? How was it?
Yeah. It was fine.
Just fine? Wasn't, like, terribly mind-blowing?
No. I thought it wasn't all that much different. It just had multiple, like, phases. Instead of being all
did it
one. Like,
not have, like... I thought it was going to have, like, a bunch of story stuff. Did it not?
I think it had
Or did
some. Yeah, it did actually. There's most of the story stuff happened at the end of it though. Don't throw your shield at me. I don't need that in my life.
Well, I was hoping to throw it around the corner and hit a bunch of these guys to keep my super going.
Rude. It's rude, James.
Well, you know what? You're just collateral damage. What's new? Working allies.
Brask.
What a B name. I'm getting a B. I'm getting a B. Bubba booey.
I like that our teammate's name is Scoob. That makes me happy.
Like, yoink, Scoob. Ooh, and he's wearing the, oh my god, why can't I remember the name of that exotic? He's wearing the running exotic that gives his punches electrical charges. That's everywhere. Doom Archers. There we go. God, I can't believe I forgot that. I used to wear those all the time.
Shit. He was immune.
There was a firefight.
There we go.
He donezo.
That's what I'm talking about.
Zavala, the taken leader is down for the count. Surprise of the day, he was Red Legion.
I did not realize Casey Kasem
I'll consult
voiced
about
him.
this. In the meantime,
Oh no? Yeah.
all of you.
It's actually the first place I heard of Casey Kasem. I didn't even realize, at least for a while, that he did all those radio shows.
Yep. Top 100.
Yes.
Back to the tower and calling
for a while too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm going. It's been a while since we went like this.
Yeah, it's been a hot second.
It's been a long time since I rock and rolled.
Been a long time, been a long time, been a long time. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah.
Checking.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Confirmed.
Somebody just posted about getting goat cheese infused, fermented goat cheese infused salami. Oh, that sounds so good.
Absolutely.
Goat cheese, more like goat. Please.
Acknowledged.
Hey, I love it. Well, time to start wearing the highest armor again.
She said she wanted to express herself.
Yeah.
Gave her a thumbs up.
Calling it. Time for a break.
Well, only for 10 power levels, though, right?
Yep. Is it only 10?
10-ish. I thought so.
You're
Don't we
probably
need to
right.
get to 1260?
I don't know.
I thought most of these small ones were only a tiny increase. It could be wrong.
I mean, that sounds right. I love how goofy you look for a little while. Just like
It's a promise.
fantastic.
It's the old Burning Crusade syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know next time you want to watch some Crucible feeds. I have my...
Let me know next time you want to watch some Crucible feeds.
Yo, dog.
Oh.
You say that, and then Shax, all I see are these very boring screens. How are these Crucible feeds?
It's true. I mean, you're making a lot of valid points.
Damn, Shax, what are they feeding you?
I did get a 1257 and a 1258 drop, so that's interesting.
Ooh.
Now, where did I put that blasted dematerialization lens filter?
Blasted dematerialization. Man, I'm hungry. Like,
yes, as
really
am
hungry.
I'm ravenous.
I didn't know how hungry I was until you talked about food. Okay.
The archives give it, and the cryptarchs make it into something useful.
Emergency Guardian, sorry. Everyone's so afraid since the attack.
Everyone's so afraid since the attack.
I heard they wire your brain right into the ship. Some kind of crazy experiment.
All that jumping around never sat right with me.
Okay.
I can't believe the old tower's gone.
Hello, Guardian.
Pretty sure the song says Obsidian Hugs, and then this dude's going, ooh, after each proclamation of Obsidian Hugs. I'm sure that's not it, but it is just funny to think about. Hugged by water-cooled magma.
Back to the front, Guardian.
I like it.
Obsidian Hugs. Wow, this is one thick-looking dude. Dang.
Yeah.
Where the shoulders going.
What cipher is this?
Oh, I really hope we can redo our Guardian's faces someday.
Would be nice.
Nice spicy cloak.
Actually, don't hate this look. Okay. Yeah, so
I remember this.
the end of the night. Oh, hold on. Zaval is still glowing for me. What you got for me here, bud?
Why don't
it's
you glow?
because I don't want to turn in my tokens until I'm higher. I guess it probably doesn't matter, does it?
Guardian.
I don't know. I think they've dropped at lower light levels recently than your current light level.
They do. You're right.
Sometimes.
I don't love that you have to, like, move off the place you click to click the engram. That part's a little weird. Oh, well. All right, my friend. Oh. Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just bad at reading for a minute. So, yeah. Well, we did it. We got started on season 13.
We did.
Look at us go.
We're good to go now.
To all of our viewers, thank you for joining us. It's been our pleasure here on Slight and Fight at night. And
ooh, that sounds just about right.
Keep it bright.
Okay, now it's gone.
All right.